Welcome to the French Drainman channel. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood. We're going to take you on a job where we had a backyard that was flooding. There was standing water back here. You had to pump it out. You had to take a broom and push it out. And I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to explain what we did to take care of the drainage issue in this backyard. What you're looking at is a drain that we put in along a retaining wall inside a pool yard. This is just part of the system. There's several elements to the system. This yard had standing water in multiple areas, and we're just going to take you through it and show you what we did. We're going to show you up close what those 9x9 inlets look like, how we ran that drain, and I'll explain why it's going to be such a success. So we did discharge it to a 6-inch discharge, which you can go to multiple 4-inch. If you're a DIYer, you don't really want to work with the 6-inch pipe. It's actually kind of a pain. So if you're building a drain system and you know you need more than what one 4-inch pipe can actually discharge, go to 2. Build it with a second discharge. Super simple to do. So we have this giant backyard, and this pool was part of the problem. To code, you have to shed water away from the pool. So everything, whether it's cement, brick pavers, it all has to be pitched away from the pool. Now, this yard was built up on a hill. So on the one side of the pool, there had to be a retaining wall. We had to run some 12x12 inlet basins to where the grade broke, and then we use a pop-up emitter. Because here in the north, a pop-up emitter doesn't hold very much water compared to a drain basin. So that was our best discharge drainage product that we could have chose, was that pop-up emitter with a turf restrictor plate so the grass won't grow over it and it will not hold water. This tree was part of the problem on this side of the yard. This giant tree raised the grade. That's what trees do. The root starts out really small, like a thread, then to a pencil, then the size of your wrist, then the size of your thigh. All that wood underground builds up, lifts the ground, and now the water can't drain out of the yard. So we went ahead, trenched with our excavator, dug a really nice ditch, went ahead and put in a nice gravity system to get past that high ground. Now you can see how we went ahead with these 9x9 inlet basins for surface water. And we went ahead and built the system. These 9x9s are just absolutely fantastic when you use them like this. You want to leave them a little lower than the brick pavers or cement around it so that the water always finds that low point and it grabs up everything right to the very last drop. It's a really cool system. I'll get you a little closer look at it here as we walk you through this entire yard drain system. Now, I went ahead and I built this like a French drain, and I'm going to explain why. Normally, when we get hired to take care of surface water like this, where there's a lot of standing water, and it just sits there for days and sometimes weeks, and the homeowners either got to pump it out, a lot of times pump it out, and then chase the rest of it out with a broom, go through all this each and every time we get a substantial rain, we just need really a solid pipe with inlet basins. And instead of these big basins that are so invasive to your yard to try to put in, this works great when you do an inline surface drain like we're showing you here. You know, the guys did incredible work. I mean, they just killed it. I can't say enough about the work these guys have done. I mean, when you see this yard put back together again, you're going to be blown away that this crew can come in here, pull back pavers, dig up base material, reassemble like we were never even here. You got to stay to the end because it's pretty special. So we went ahead, instead of just using a solid pipe, I said, you know what? It's not going to cost the customer anything really more at this point if we just put in a perforated pipe. Now, the inlet basins will carry trash, leaves, debris into the pipe. And over time, you'll probably lose the benefits of having a perforated pipe. But I figured until then, we might as well at least grab any water that's in the subsurface that's lying along this retaining wall to hope to extend its life to where it doesn't see failure in the up and coming Well, I would think that just getting rid of the bulk water is enough, but taking care of that subsurface water, anything that was lying under the surface, that's going to preserve this wall forever. This yard's actually built up quite high. Goes to show you, even a yard, a home built up on a hill can have water problems. The top of any high elevation, no matter what neighborhood you're in, it has to be flattened out to build on it. To have a good building envelope, you're going to have to go ahead and cut into that high elevation. You're going to end up with pockets and areas where water can just get trapped. It's easy to do, and especially as the landscape matures and as the trees get big and they lift the ground, trees, they keep us in business, I can tell you that. A lot of the jobs, a good percentage of the jobs that we have to go and take care of, standing water, it's because of the trees. The trees lift the yard up with their big, massive roots as they get really large over time, and it just completely changed the way a yard drains out. So the guys went ahead and we talked about this. We said, let's make this permeable pavers. What's permeable pavers? Well, we're just going to put some sand on top of the fabric, and then we're going to put the pavers back on top of that sand, and then we're not going to use the glue sand. We're not going to use the polymeric sand in between the joints. We're going to allow the water just to run right into our French drain through the pavers. We're installing these pavers so that they're permeable. It's a technique. It's a known technique. It's a known practice. You can see right here there's a tree. The guys are working under the tree. That tree raised the ground, and then the water that used to shed away is now going the other direction over this retaining wall into this pool yard where the water is being shed away from the pool, because that's code. You have to have the pitch away from the pool. They don't want stormwater to end up into the pool. It's a health concern. So by code, everything has to run away from the pool. If you're ever dealing with a water problem and you're in a pool yard, this is what's going on. So keep that in mind so you understand what you're working with. You understand what the men that were there before you had to work with. So you can see this came out really, really nice. The guys, they're trimming the fabric right now. You don't want to have a bunch of fabric all wadded up. It's not going to drain properly. What I'm trying to say is our fabric is double punched. So you don't want to overlap it because you can't line up those holes in it. All right, check this out. Look at that standpipe that we created. Isn't that a nice inline 9x9 standpipe? Nice and easy. It fits in this narrow trench. I'm going to leave a link down below for you guys. This is a really cool inline drain kit that can be used in many, many applications. It could be used in turf grass. If you don't want to use an excavator and you're just kind of like the chuck in a truck and you just got some cheap trencher and you're just trying to, do it kind of, for lack of a better term, on a budget, well, then this is for you because you're not trying to dig a big hole and put a big basin in. Check this out. Love this standpipe. I love these inline basins, 9x9 inline basins, super, super easy to install, and they just work in any application. They're dynamite in real confined areas. That's what we love about them. Absolutely beautiful. Love that setup. Super cool. Very nice. I believe we have 5 of them throughout, in line on the same pipe. Super easy. Really, really nice. User-friendly. So as Francisco continues here to work on the brick pavers, he's doing a fantastic job. When this is together, you're going to be blown away. You can't even tell we were there. Once we go ahead and just sweep these pavers off, run the blower, pick up the plywood, go ahead and blow the grass, stand it back up, you're going to see, you can't even tell we were here. So we did this massive backyard pool yard job. We split up into 2 groups to knock it out because we had several systems going in. I thought this one was the most important to capture, so you're just seeing touches of the other things that we did in this pool yard, and you're seeing the bulk of the video is on this inline surface drain. This is just going to save this homeowner so much headache. They don't have to get pumps out anymore. They don't have to deal with the flooding anymore. Their pool yard is not going to be flooded. Their backyard is not going to be flooded. It's going to evacuate all the water as it's running into this pool yard. There's big trees everywhere, changing the elevation of this yard, and the low point just became this area in the pool yard and there's a few other areas as well, but this was the largest area of flooding. The bulk water and the flood water that would stand here was just absolutely ridiculous. You know, I just feel so bad when any homeowner has such a beautiful oasis and then it's just, you know, spoiled when it comes to the drainage, just leaving the homeowner in just the worst way. You know, the sun comes out, the weather's great, it's time to enjoy that beautiful oasis, and what are you doing? You're pumping water out. I mean, that's no fun. That's not the way it should be. All it takes is for us to come in for a day, you know, put in a system like this. We also had a couple other, you know, smaller systems in this backyard, and we had a big system in the front yard, which I'll leave a link to that video down below. Check this out. You can't even tell we were there. Look at that. These guys are the best in the business. These guys set the standards. These guys set the bar. The men working here at French Drain Man, I can't say enough about the trades that are here at French Drain Man. I mean, their carpentry skills, their mason skills, their concrete skills. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. So this is another pop-up emitter. We took that system to a pop-up emitter with a turf restrictor plate so the grass can't grow over it and make it disappear. It's going to be fantastic. It won't hold any water. Drilled a couple holes in the bottom so it won't freeze in the north. That's key. That's why we like using pop-ups. They don't freeze up in the north. Look at this beautiful inline system. It's going to grab up all that surface water. Just really clean, really nice. And then we have several other areas here where we put in some big 12 by 12s. These are true basins, not just, you know, that surface grate. And then we get through this mound that this tree caused, and we get to where the grade breaks, and right there, you know, we got another pop-up with turf restrictor plates. So this is going to drain fantastic. We're going to get the water that's been trapped in this pool yard out of here, and this homeowner is going to be able to enjoy this backyard for many, many, many years to come. There's another 12 by 12 we tucked in there. And yes, we got to pull pavers up. Yes, we got to, you know, have balance tubes connecting all those basins. All right, I'll leave a link down below for this front yard system because this was fun too. We cut the driveway to put this system in. If you haven't seen that video, you're going to want to see it. We replaced the 6-inch system of triple wall that failed, and we went ahead and replaced it with a 6-inch corrugated system out of the virgin yellow so that this will last for 200 to 500 years. It's a heck of a system. You want to catch that video as well. We'll leave you that link. I'll leave you a link for those 9x9 inlet basins, and until that next video.